In Alexandre Dumas's The Count of Monte Cristo, Fernand Mondego stands as one of the central antagonists, a man whose betrayal of Edmond Dantès helps ignite the novel's central conflict. His character is deeply intertwined with the themes of jealousy, social ambition, betrayal, and justice. Unlike the coldly calculating Villefort or the greedy Danglars, Fernand's motivations are intensely personal, driven by love, envy, and a desperate hunger for status. His rise and fall not only serve the narrative structure but also embody some of the novel's core moral lessons. Role in the narrative. Fernand Mondego begins the novel as a humble fisherman, deeply in love with Mercedes, Edmond Dantès' fiancée. Although Mercedes sees Fernand as a brother, Fernand harbors a passionate and possessive love for her. This unrequited desire becomes the driving force behind his betrayal. When Dantès returns to Marseille and prepares to marry Mercedes, Fernand, consumed by jealousy, joins a conspiracy to remove his rival. Working with Danglars, Catullus, and Villefort, albeit unknowingly in some cases, Fernand plays a crucial role in falsely accusing Dantès of being a Bonapartist agent. This betrayal sets the main plot in motion. Dantès is arrested and imprisoned without trial in the Château d'If. In Dantès' absence, Fernand seizes the opportunity to comfort and eventually marry Mercedes, taking advantage of her despair and vulnerability. He also embarks on a military career where he gains prestige and fortune, eventually becoming Count de Morcerf, an influential aristocrat. However, Fernand's success is built on a foundation of lies and treachery, not only in Marseille but throughout his military career. His past includes the betrayal of Ali Pasha of Janina, a Greek ruler who trusted him. Fernand sells Ali Pasha to the Turks for money and status, allowing his benefactor to be murdered and enslaving his daughter, Haydée, who later plays a role in his downfall. Fernand's narrative arc comes full circle when the Count of Monte Cristo, Edmond Dantès in disguise, returns to expose and dismantle his enemies. Through careful manipulation and the presentation of evidence, Monte Cristo reveals Fernand's wartime treachery in a public trial, destroying his honor and career. Mercedes, upon discovering Monte Cristo's true identity, confronts her husband and ultimately leaves him. Unable to withstand the shame and loss, Fernand commits suicide, his life ending in disgrace. Symbolic significance. Fernand Mondego represents the corruption of love and ambition. His love for Mercedes, once seemingly genuine, quickly devolves into obsession and possessiveness. He cannot accept that her heart belongs to another, and rather than earning her affection, he attempts to force it through manipulation and deceit. In this way, Fernand symbolizes selfish love, a love that seeks to possess rather than honor the autonomy and feelings of the other. Moreover, Fernand embodies social ambition without scruples. His rise to nobility is not earned through merit or virtue but through betrayal, deceit, and opportunism. His betrayal of both Dantès and Ali Pasha reveals a man who is willing to sacrifice loyalty, friendship, and morality for the sake of power. In this sense, Fernand becomes a cautionary figure, a man who achieves worldly success at the cost of his soul. Symbolically, Fernand also represents the perversion of the military hero. On the surface, he is a decorated general and nobleman. Yet, his honors are tainted by acts of cowardice and treachery. Dumas uses Fernand to critique the idea that public acclaim and titles necessarily reflect virtue. Fernand's glittering reputation hides a corrupt and hollow core, illustrating the theme of appearance versus reality. Broader implications. Fernand's character allows Dumas to explore the broader themes of justice, identity, and retribution. Fernand commits acts that go unpunished for many years, aided by a society that rewards surface-level success and ignores more profound ethical truths. The Count of Monte Cristo becomes the instrument through which Fernand finally faces consequences, not through legal means but through personal, poetic justice. His downfall is particularly striking because it is public and complete. He is stripped not only of his title and reputation but also of his family. Mercedes, the very woman for whom he committed his original betrayal, ultimately rejects him when she learns the truth. His son Albert also turns against him, disowning his father to preserve his honor. Thus, Fernand's downfall is not merely personal, it is a total collapse of the life he built on falsehoods. This collapse underlines one of the novel's most important messages: justice may be delayed, but it is ultimately inescapable. Fernand's crimes, hidden for decades, are eventually exposed through Monte Cristo's patient and methodical efforts. Dumas seems to suggest that true justice lies not in swift legal punishment, but in the long and inevitable consequences of moral corruption. Fernand's fate also contrasts with Dantès' journey. While Dantès suffers unjustly but grows wiser and stronger through adversity, Fernand prospers through treachery but is ultimately destroyed by the truth. This contrast reinforces the novel's moral framework. Suffering with dignity may lead to redemption, while success gained through evil invites ruin. Though Fernand is one of the novel's villains, Dumas does not render him as a mere caricature. Fernand is emotionally driven, and his envy, insecurity, and need for validation give him a degree of psychological realism. His love for Mercedes, though toxic and possessive, is not wholly fabricated. His despair at losing her and his final act of suicide show that he retains some degree of human feeling and vulnerability. This complexity allows readers to reflect on the inner workings of betrayal and moral compromise. Fernand is not born a monster. He becomes one through a series of choices rooted in personal weakness. His downfall is not only a punishment but a tragic revelation of a man who could not live with the consequences of his ambition. Conclusion. Fernand Mondego plays a pivotal role in the Count of Monte Cristo, serving as both a narrative catalyst and a moral warning. His betrayal of Edmond Dantès sets the revenge plot in motion, and his ultimate downfall provides one of the most satisfying resolutions in the novel. Symbolizing corrupted love, ambition without honor, and the dangers of building a life on deceit, Fernand serves as a powerful contrast to the novel's protagonist. Through Fernand, Dumas explores essential questions about justice, power, and identity. Is success meaningful if it's built on betrayal? Can a man truly escape the consequences of his actions? Fernand's tragic arc answers with a resounding no. In his rise, we see the seductive nature of ambition. In his fall, the inescapable power of truth. His story reminds readers that no matter how high one climbs, the weight of a guilty conscience and a patient avenger can bring even the mightiest crashing down.